And hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back here to Tournament Central as we bring you post-round coverage from our final day of the 2023 United States Women's Disc Golf Championships. My name is Dustin Murray, and joining me after her victory today is two-time world champion and now U.S. champion, Kristen Tatar. First of all, Kristen, congratulations on your win today, as you have cemented yourself in the history books forever, Kristen. I mean, it's been awesome to follow your career, and I just wanted to say congrats again.
Thank you so much. It also feels incredible. I can't still believe that I pulled it off. Yeah, it feels amazing.
It is indeed. As when I spoke to you after your win at Worlds, it was very clear what your next goal was, and that was this Grand Slam. You had your sights set on it. You even talked to Brian on the course moments ago, saying that you had it like written down in a notebook to win all the majors this year. Now that you have done that and become the first FPO player to sweep all four majors in a single season, an incredible accomplishment. What does that mean to you? You know, how does that, transpire going forward, I guess?
I think it just proves how incredible our capabilities are, and how only sky is the limit. It only encourages me to dream even bigger and bigger, and I hope this shows to everyone else that everything is possible. So yeah, hopefully this inspires everyone else as well. It has inspired me. I think that's the most important thing.
That's awesome. As in the other three majors you won this year, Kristen, you had the lead after the first round, and so you kind of played the role of the front runner, looking to maintain your position at the top. For this major, it was not until the final moments of the third round that you had the lead. What was it like this time around, battling through the adversity throughout the tournament in order to claim the top spot in the final round?
It felt definitely much different. Like you said, in every other major, I have been playing consistently very well from the beginning. But this time I had some struggles going into the tournament, and I mean the course was also a little bit difficult and showed me its teeth. So yeah, it was different, but I knew that even if everything is not going my way, I can still battle through and just give my 100%, and that's all I can do. I cannot control anybody else. I can only do my best, and this time it was enough.
Yeah, so for this final round, it was a pretty tight race between yourself and Henna Blomroos on the front nine, and at one point you two were even tied. However, you were able to create that separation on a hole nine with the birdie, and you really maintained that throughout the rest of the round. How important was that moment on hole nine? I remember even seeing you kind of crack a smile after your approach shot that seemed like maybe some comfort had come over you. So what was that moment like?
I think I split some trees there, so that's why I smiled.
Okay.
So I think from my perspective, it seemed like I had it was a little bit lucky shot, so that's why I smiled. But I didn't even think about anybody else. I knew that Owen was playing very well and shooting hot. Henna was having troubles, and I mean, you never want to win against somebody who is not playing well. You always want to play your best, and you expect other players to do also their best. That's the sweetest win of all time. So, of course, it was hard to see her struggling. But I mean, again, I can only control what I do, and I just kept going. I knew that my day was also not like my best, so we were all battling out there.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned Henna a little bit there, but also Owen Scoggins kept things very interesting. I mean, she shot 4 down through the front nine. You know, she was kind of around your heels, only a couple strokes behind. What was it like battling against Owen coming down the stretch? You know, a veteran who has done very well this season. You know, did that kind of keep you fueled to kind of keep pushing forward?
Yeah, Owen is always dangerous. So she was having a very, very good round. Her shots were in the middle of the fairway. Her putting was on fire. And I knew that I had to step up my game and start to pick up some birdies to keep pace, because I feel like on the front nine I wasn't doing very well. I was scrambling most of the time. So on the back nine I knew I had to pick up the pace.
Now, with that said, was there a moment where you finally felt comfortable that you had the win in hand? Was there a particular shot or just a particular occurrence on the course where you felt like, okay, this is mine now for the taking, or was it really not until you threw that final approach on 18 that you felt like it was done?
I always try to keep these thoughts away. I try not to think about winning a tournament before I've actually won it. So I did not think about it. I didn't even know the exact scores, to be honest. I think I asked the scores on the last hole from silver, and I knew I had some room to play around with. So. But again, I was trying not to think about winning another major. I was like, okay, I have to finish this hole, and then I can celebrate.
Well, now that that's all behind you and that you can celebrate, we have to look back. You're now a 2-time world champion, a 6-time major winner. You have the Grand Slam for this season, winning all the majors. You've been top 6 or better since the Worlds in 2018. You have been the most consistent competitor in our sport for the last several years. I mean, how do you do it, Kristen? What drives you to do these incredible things?
Like I said, I think I've learned that only the sky is the limit, and what we see in the world is a great reflection of what's going on inside us. And I think I've unlocked some level where I have this understanding that truly anything is possible, and it's not only me; it's for everyone. And if you believe this to your core, then amazing things start to happen. So, yeah, it's just building up some confidence and knowing that we create our world and we create our reality. And I think this belief is enough to create magic in life.
You mentioned at the very beginning of the interview that this kind of just teaches you to dream bigger. You've already accomplished so much in such a short amount of time. What do you set your sights on now? What bigger thing can you dream of? Do you try to hunt after the most world titles ever in FPO, or is there some other goal written in a notebook somewhere that you still want to accomplish?
I don't know yet. I think these things come to me in like random moments where I think, okay, this is something that I want to achieve. So right now, I don't even know. I just would like to enjoy being in this moment, have some fun with my family, and have some great times with my friends. So yeah, I don't really think about work right now.
I don't blame you the least bit. And with that, Kristen Saar, I kind of just wanted to give you the floor here at the end before we let you go. If you had any last final thoughts you wanted to share, any type of shout-outs you'd like to give, again, the floor is yours.
I mean, I just want to thank everybody who has been cheering for me, who has been tuning in to see the coverage, who came out here and cheered for all the players. I want to thank Latitude 64 for the support, and I want to thank my family for being here with me. It's just we are creating these amazing memories here, and I love every bit of it. Thank you.
Well, again, Kristen, congratulations on an incredible accomplishment, an incredible year, and just a incredible career that I'm sure you still have many left in front of you to do. But just want to go ahead and let you go so that you can celebrate. And with that, folks, we'll go to a short break. When we come back, we will wrap up the show, so stay tuned, folks. We'll be back soon.
Hello, we're Kenna. We're a Dutch growing company. We love plants and we want to tell you some cool things about them. Just like humans, plants can communicate. They can sense when another plant is close. Plants look out for each other too. They warn neighbors about nearby threats by secreting substances. And studies have shown that plants love a good tune. We love and understand plants. Let our passion excite you too.
TeamDiscraft.com. All the team favorites on one site.
And folks, while we have wrapped up our major of the weekend, two of the biggest events of the season still remain out on the Disc Golf Network. So make sure you use the code USWDGCTC as it appears on your screen at checkout for 20% off your first month. You can scan the QR code on your screen or hit the link in the description below to subscribe today to catch up with all of the action. And joining me to talk some action is going to be myself and now Brian Earhart. Brian, we obviously just both got finished speaking to Chris Tatar after her victory. Again, came into this tournament the clear favorite, the clear number one player in the world. She now has 11 wins this season, including all 4 majors. The first FPO player to sweep all 4 majors in a single season. She's also the first player, I just learned, to win 5 consecutively scheduled majors in a row. So just another little accolade there to add to the resume, if it wasn't already huge enough. What's it like to be out there and witness this type of greatness in person, Brian?
Well, I said it to Terry as I was walking down the fairway, I believe, of 18. This is insane. I mean, 11 wins on a season where we've already had more unique winners than we've ever had. That's ridiculous. Just, there's not even really much else I can say. I mean, the way she's playing is just so resourceful, and when she doesn't have her best stuff, she still brings something good to the table, and it's enough to beat the rest of the players in the division again. When she's actually on her game, she's winning by 14, 15 strokes at times. I mean, it's unbelievable. And just listening to her talk to you in the interview you gave her, her mindset is elite. Her mindset has leveled up. I mean, she's been studying a lot of books. She's been reading a lot, trying to continue to better herself, not only as an athlete, but as a person. And as a person, being ready to handle what's about to come her way. I mean, this is not going to just be her second season dominating. Her third season coming up is going to be just as dominant. Someone's going to have to play out of their mind to contend with her week in and week out. So I think she's getting ahead of the curve, and she's already there. I mean, just saying, hey, I'm here to just witness things as they unfold. I'm here to just let things, fall where they may, and I'm just going to put myself in those positions and let the magic happen. That is a beautiful way of speaking about the game of disc golf and really about life in general. She has it figured out. I mean, I'm not going to say that she's perfected it, because I guarantee you in a few years, whatever book she writes is going to sell out in the disc golf world, because everyone's going to want some of that secret sauce. Kristen, if you just happen to tune in, please start writing that book, because I want to read it myself. Dustin, it's just incredible to listen to her talk about the way that she's playing and the way she's progressing as an athlete. And I mean, yeah, the game speaks for itself. It's incredible. She scrambled better than I've ever seen her scramble today, and it looked like she might have lost the tournament early on.
Yeah, I don't know that I've spoken to a more impressive human being like in my life. Just like you said, the mental fortitude that she has and the way that she kind of almost separates herself and just kind of bears witness to whatever unfolds and how she can handle that is just, it's incredible. And just to kind of throw some more fun facts for the viewers at home, the worst finish she has had was 8th place at Worlds in 2018. That was in Vermont at the, famous Fox Run and in Brewster Ridge, which she just won her second world title at this year. She has finished top 6 or better ever since then. She obviously had the incredible podium streak last year with 5 wins. Now this year it's 11 wins. And again, has never finished outside the top 6. I mean, the consistency she has is unmatched. She has a complete game that very few other players can claim. And it's gotten to a point now where not only has she won all these titles and, has the Grand Slam, she is now firmly putting herself at the top of the list of the GOAT argument for FPO going forward forever. I mean, yeah, she doesn't have as many world titles as some of the other ones out there, but she's still got many years left ahead of her to get that done. It gets to a point now where it's like, where do we go from here? Because, I mean, it just doesn't seem like she's showing any signs of slowing down. In fact, she's getting better.
Well, I think the greatest of all time argument is just a never-ending talk.
Of course.
My question to you, Dustin, is if she has a career-ending injury at the throw pink, this is obviously long shot, but if this happens, she never plays disc golf ever again, what do you make of her career? It's been 2 seasons of dominance. You wonder, how much more can she do this? How much longer will she be dominant? Will she be dominant another decade? She very well may be. But I'm personally waiting to see her do that. I'm ready for it. This is just something we've never seen before. All I know is, regardless of who you think the greatest player of all time is, she's going to set a new bar. And over the next few years, women and all these young girls that are competing in the juniors divisions are going to see her as the person to rise their game to. We're going to start seeing women and young girls mold their throwing after Kristen Tatar, just like we saw with a ton of young players with Paul Macbeth as he was coming up and starting to dominate the game year in and year out. So I think she's going to have a significant cultural impact on disc golf, whether she stops playing next week or she continues for another 2 decades. It's just been incredible to watch. I think it's just the beginning of something phenomenal.
I couldn't have said it better myself, Brian. I think you're totally right about the culture impact that she has had on the sport, and again, just how incredible of an ambassador she is. Again, not just her talent on the course, but the way she carries herself, the way that she speaks, the wisdom that you can glean from her when she shares her insights. It's incredible, man. Like it's like goosebumps almost, whenever you see and hear the things that she can do. But let's move on a little bit from Kristen Tatar and talk about another player who had a phenomenal week, and that's going to be Owen Scoggins. I mean, you talk about a veteran, you talk about someone who can do incredible things. We're talking about Owen Scoggins, who's just been an absolute warrior, battling from injury ever since she hit the Plata Worlds. Was unable to finish that event. She is ranked second in the world just behind Kristen Tatar. She, won her first event on the Pro Tour this year, the Mid-America Open, a silver event, and then D-Glow, an elite event shortly after that. While injury took her out of Worlds, she has bounced back incredibly. She came second in MVP Open, and even though she was, a slow start to this tournament, she winds up, not only finishing second at this tournament, Brian, but at one point she put herself in contention to win this thing. She was only a couple of strokes off Kristen Tatar. It really wasn't until the bogey on hole 16 where she maybe kind of fell out of the picture for the win, but still a fantastic finish. This is now her 10th additional podium finish alongside the 2 wins that she has this year. I mean, talk to me about Scoggins, and just how superb she has been.
I saw her right after they tallied scores, right after I talked to Kristen on the green of 18. I caught up with her. I turned and gave her a huge hug, and I said, "You are incredible." And she laughed, and I said, "Are you really playing the Carolina Clash next week?" And she goes, "Of course I'm playing the Carolina Clash next week."
Oh, my Lord.
She's not even taking an off week. She's playing an A-tier in Charlotte before the Throw Pink and before the Tour Championship. No weeks off for Owen Scoggins. I think a lot of maybe sports medicine people would maybe say, hey, take a week off, rest, let the tendonitis calm down. Nope. It's not going to happen. She is a very special individual, and she loves this game so much. I feel the energy radiating off her when she's out there on the course. She is so happy to be there to put on a show for the fans that come out. The gallery came out and was so excited to see Owen. They were laughing at everything she said. She had him in the palm of her hand, and she gave him a show. She played like an absolute animal out there, and her caddy and husband, Justin, was literally massaging her elbow after every single hole, potentially every single shot. I mean, she is going to grind her way through this season and probably have a great time. She's probably going to finish podium again at one of these next 2 tournaments. I don't even have anything else to say except for this is a one of one.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, I'll give you a couple more really quick before we move on to the next top, and that is that she shot the hot round the entire tournament today by 2 strokes. She shot an 8 under par. That's a new course record, obviously, on this new regulator track. And she also had the biggest birdie streak of the entire tournament. She had 7 birdies in a row at one point in the midsection of the course, better than anyone else. Also, I'll throw you another little fun fact. She is one of only let me get this right, 6 players who birdied 18 this weekend, and she did it twice. She's the only player to do it multiple times. And we know how difficult hole 18 was for people. So those are just a couple little added nuggets there for Owen Scoggins and an incredible second-place finish. But let's talk Henna Blomroos a little bit, because obviously this is a player who has consistently been, in that top 10 in the world rankings and has multiple top 10 finishes this season, including at the European Open and at Champions Cup, 2 majors. She had the lead after the first round. It was a 3-way tie. She had the solo lead by the end of day 2, Round 3, she looked to be on pace to be doing it yet again, but we all know about the struggles that she suffered on hole 18, which kind of changed everything. Now today, she seemed to be able to put that behind her. At one point on the front 9, she was tied with Tatar. But hole 9, she took a bogey, whereas Tatar took the birdie. That 2-stroke swing seemed to kind of rattle her confidence, and she really kind of struggled from that point forward. But even with all the adversity, Brian, she still finishes third. She still finishes on the podium and has a fantastic finish, that she can take home with her. Talk to me about Henna and just, the way that she was able to battle through everything and still manage to find the podium.
I think we take for granted how well-rounded Kristen Tatar's game truly is. I think we severely underrate Owen Scoggins for how well-rounded her game is. I don't think currently Henna has the full package. I think she's 150% in like 3 categories. And then right now, that short game is just not working for her. That missed upshot on hole 3 was just completely inexcusable. I mean, those things need to be buttoned up completely if you want to go up against the chess engine and Kristen Tatar, who's not going to make those simple mistakes ever. Mix that with the circle 1 putting, the 3 putts. That's a recipe for not winning a major title, but she still gets third. She gets a podium finish. I mean, if she can commit to an offseason and say, you know what, I can win a major title, I can beat Kristen, I'm better than her at multiple things. She just needs to clean up the things that Kristen is dominating her in, and it's going to be a battle throughout the entire 2024 season. I'm really looking forward to her and Evelina hopefully working together to both get better than they've ever gotten, to continue to be names that push Kristen, push Owen, push everybody who has been gunning for these titles this year.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely saw hints of her Circle 1X improvement happening this tournament. She had a couple days where she was in that 75 to 80% range. It's just today, after that bogey on hole 9, it seemed like it finally took its toll, and she wasn't really able to recover from that point. But again, like you said, still a fantastic third place finish. And again, she has shown that she does have some massive skills in this game. I think you're right. I think her and Evelina can eventually get there. But either way, Brian, that is going to do it for us here for the United States Women's Disc Golf Championships. Brian, wanted to give you a chance to give any final thoughts about your experiences this weekend before we bid you adieu and sign off.
Well done to everybody. Burlington, North Carolina should be very proud of what they've put together. I walked around all 4 days, and I saw smiles from everybody. I saw people overjoyed to be at a place where not only they are competing alongside of the professionals, they get to see the Disc Golf Network set up at a tournament that they're playing, and the amateurs had so much fun here, the juniors players, the legends players. This is just a wonderful moment for disc golf in general. We can't ignore the fact that when you look at PDGA membership, it's still very male-dominated, and a lot of the decisions are made by men. So to have a weekend where the women are in charge and they're together, 340 of them to come and commune and mingle and celebrate how far they've come, it's just a wonderful thing, man.
Yeah, it definitely seemed pretty awesome getting to watch it from here. So, Brian, thank you so much for joining me throughout the week and sharing your insights and wisdom. It's been a pleasure working with you. And, again, everyone at home, we appreciate you tuning in for the coverage. Again, that's going to do it for us here at U.S. Women's, but we are going to be back in action not too long from now. We still got USDGC and Throw Pink to go. We got the tour finale to go, and so lots more disc golf still yet to be played. But that's going to do it for today. Until next time, we'll see you later.